And enter. All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the third episode of the Untitled Sickos Project. I am happy to be back. I'm happy that football is back with us today. And yeah, a lot of stuff has certainly happened with the past week, and the big question is, did the NFL handle the Monday night football game with the situation that happened to Damar Hamlin? Of course, for those who have not known what happened, is Monday night football, about in the first quarter, the Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin made a routine tackle, and he got up and then fell down and went into cardiac arrest. He was then given CPR for 9 minutes on the field and then immediately transported to the local hospital where he received treatment. And from today, he is doing well. He was chatting up with teammates. He was waving. Damar Hamlin has recovered. And I think it goes to show what tragedy can do to bring people together. We, as a community of football fans, have been brought together. I've never seen something like that happen before, where a community of football fans can gather together and hold each other arm in arm. Doesn't matter what team you cheer for. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter how different you are from one another. For one moment, everybody as a football community came together, held in arm in arm, and was praying for the safety and the recovery for Damar Hamlin. I have never seen anything like that. I've never seen such unity, such love, and the power of prayer before, or the power of just people believing in the same goal. Damar Hamlin had a charity, toys for the kids in the Pittsburgh area. The goal was just $2,500. That GoFundMe has surpassed $8 million as of today. It's absolutely incredible. And it seems like the recovery process for Damar Hamlin is beginning. He is recovering, and we hope that he's able to now live the best life he can, even if that means he returns to the gridiron. And if he does, the roof off that stadium is going to come off. Big shout out to all stadiums. I believe everybody's going to do a roaring applause for Damar Hamlin. I heard that in the Kansas City Raiders game. I'm not 100% sure Jacksonville and Tennessee did that.
They did it. They did do it tonight.
Okay. So shout out to everybody who's cheering at the stadium, cheering for Damar Hamlin. We're all rooting for him. We're all cheering his recovery. And it's amazing. The power of medicine and the power of community. I can't wait. And him being back, seeing him smiling, seeing him smile on Twitter warmed my heart a lot. And seeing that he is going to recover from this, at least in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm ready for some football. I'm ready. I'm happy. I'm so happy he's ready, and I'm ready to get back to the good old gridiron. Football is a dangerous game. It is a very dangerous game. These players that give their time and energy and effort, training in the off season, staying in superhuman shape. We look to these guys as idols. We look to these guys as more than just regular men and women. To see what happened to Damar Hamlin, it's a reminder that football's a dangerous game. It's something that, without a doubt, that if my kid wanted to play, I would hope my kid would understand the risks and to know that what goes into it. Because this isn't like the NHL or the NBA where your off season is like some could be 2.5 months, could be 4 months. The NFL off season is about 5 months. The amount of preparing that goes into a week, the amount of preparation that goes into a game, the importance of OTAs, training camp, could not be expressed in bigger lights in the world of football. And to know that this is what these athletes have to go through, game day in and day out for our entertainment on Sundays. Never take these players for granted. Never take the NFL for granted. And it should always be a consistent reminder of why I love this game so much. I love these players. I'm happy that Damar Hamlin is going to hopefully make a full recovery. Everything's neurologically intact. If he can pass his physical, he's going to be ready to go. And I can't wait to see him back on the field. If he so chooses, if he decides to hang his cleats up, Buffalo, do the honor, pay the rest of his contract out. Do the right thing. He almost died. Pay the rest of that contract out. It's only a sixth rounder. It's a drop in the bucket. Do the right thing. But Damar Hamlin does come back to the field. I will welcome him with open arms. Now, for the NFL, did they do the situation right? I think the NFL did their best. I know initially not calling the game right away, it probably was the right decision. Now, there's a lot of murky waters between what happened when we saw players warm up. The official thing that I'm hearing is that there was no call. The NFL did not tell them get back to warming up. It's more players are starting to loosen up, and then it was Sean McDermott's call saying, hey, we're not playing this game. So Sean McDermott then pulls everybody aside, tells everybody to go back to their locker rooms, and then they told the NFL that they weren't playing this game. And I have to agree with that. I've reading several articles about just the ins and outs of this ordeal. It's incredible to know that the top teams in the AFC have such wonderful leadership. Coaches like Sean McDermott and Sean Taylor.
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. Sorry, my bad. Zach Taylor. The AFC is in good hands with coaching, especially with young, talented guys. The leadership that these coaches had, the unity that these players had for Damar Hamlin was insane. And the NFL probably did the right thing by waiting until Damar Hamlin's at the hospital to then call the game. Because if you call the game as you're transporting Damar Hamlin out of that, it's probably not the best idea. It's not the best idea. I think the NFL did the right move in that they did the right move in calling the game a no contest. Even though the playoffs are a little bit of a mess, it is the right idea. An idea that I didn't think of when I was on Monday night. I did not think that they would just do a neutral site for the games. We'll see where the neutral sites are. I hope they do pick Cleveland for sicko reasons. Hey, they need to see a championship game somewhere. Am I right, fellas?
Should do Alaska.
Alaska.
That being said, who the heck are you people?
Yeah, at the neutral site, I didn't think they would the idea of a neutral site at all. It's not a perfect solution, but it's a solution right now. It's the solution that's going to have to work for this year. And this weekend Sunday is all for DeMar Hamlin. It is all for players and the fans cheering the man on. This weekend of football is going to be dedicated to DeMar Hamlin in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheering
I just
him
think
on.
we should introduce ourselves.
I know. I want to jump right into that. To DeMar Hamlin, get that out of the way. Anyways, I'm joined by my brethren of Sports Ball Bros. Without these gentlemen, this wonderful project would not happen. So if y'all could introduce yourselves.
Like, oh my god, hi, I'm Car Sausage, but you can call me Spence if you want. You little goober, you little stinky. Oh my god, what's wrong with you?
Hi, my name is Aiden. I live in the Bay Area, and I'm here to talk sports. Bazinga.
Hi, my name is Nick Man. You call me Nick. I usually just talk about sports because really that's the only thing I'm really doing for my life.
So say we all.
All hail Sports Ball.
Based in Whopper Pilled.
All hail Sports Ball.
Oh God,
Sports Ball never leave us.
DK, have it your way.
They released a new version of it, and it somehow gets even more just
Oh no.
cringeworthy.
You're kidding! You're kidding!
No!
Pause. I love the pause in the new commercial. It's like, wait, that ain't right. It's like, oh my god, it fits so poorly with the song.
No! Now imagine if you are a Titans fan.
Oh!
Oh my
Shit.
god.
Imagine that's the song at the Super Bowl this year.
Imagine it's like one of those Seattle-style Broncos games where it's like one team's pulling it out, and as their team is playing champion, you get Whopper, Whopper, Whopper Jr.
Look at the thing. Look at the chat. Oh my god.
Oh, BK.
Are those the lyrics? What?
Yeah, those are the actual lyrics.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fried drink and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, can't be just confirmed. That's a real nice price. BK, have it your way.
You
rule. That's the lyrics.
Yeah, that's the actual lyrics.
That's the lyrics. No!
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I would rather hear the Applebee's song right now.
No! Oh my god, no!
I'm just like, how does this get worse? How do we manage to get worse?
I mean, that's just the creativity of the masterminds behind Burger King, the corporate overlords.
All my soul is tied inside. I just want to Whopper and die. I have no will to live at BK. I want to die.
Oh my god, I can't believe they did that. Oh, that is the level of cringe that hurts my soul.
It's like, how do you degrade even farther than you already have with your marketing?
You know what? We just make it 100 times worse.
You know what? Let's give them number 0 for L of the year because
any fans that's the honorary L of the year, because any fan that had to deal with that on a week-to-week basis, yeah, that deserves to without a doubt deserves.
I bet you're lucky that you live in Canada.
Yes, sirree! We don't have to deal with that bullshit. No, we don't.
Okay.
We
Our
don't. Actually.
and native land.
Hey, it's cuter when anime girls sing it.
Do you want me to be all like, Sugoi?
Oh God.
That was awful.
That was the.
It reminds me of the time 4Kids had those anime people singing the Star Spangled Banner. Seriously, 4Kids did that.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Was that 4
Oh God, imagine if they did that
Yeah,
in
that was
modern
4Kids.
anime.
Ah!
That.
I do not want to hear Goku, Deku, and Itadori sing the Star Spangled Banner. Thank God 4Kids is bankrupt.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Yeah. That
Anyway.
is true.
What else do we got on our docket for the podcast?
All right, so to start things off, we got 2 games that happened today that we are going to recap.
Holy recap,
We're
Lois.
going to recap. We got the Chiefs and the Raiders. Oh boy, do you want to talk about
a team dying on the entire field?
I was listening to this game. I listened to the game when I was at work, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's adorable that how much these announcers are hyping up Jared Stidham. You guys are so adorable. You're adorable.
We're talking about trying to make a Linsanity run right here. We have to try something, okay, to market this game.
Yeah.
If I'm Derek Carr, I'm laughing so hard. Like,
I know.
This is who you benched me for.
I know the petty option is to be super salty about it, but that's not Derek Carr's style. Without a doubt, that's not his style.
The thing with Derek Carr is this: like last week's game literally like against how Stidham did against the 49ers, basically crushed almost all of Carr's stock. This week's game against the Chiefs basically brought up all of his stock right back up.
Mm-hmm. Not only this is my favorite part. The Chiefs, you saw when they did the whole the team spun around in a circle. They broke. They
literally did that.
The ring around the rosy. I was just about to mention that. It's like one of my favorite parts of when Andy Reid plays a division rival. Because it reminded me so much of that Don Terry Poe touchdown like 6 years ago, where like basically they were just like, all right, fuck you, Denver, quit taking timeouts. And they just had Don Terry Poe just throw a 3 into the end zone. And it was the most glorious thing I've ever seen.
Like, you want to send a message to, like, your opponent saying, yeah, we do not care what you do. You guys are well below our level. Just do a play like that.
Yep. The funny thing is, it got called back
for holding.
Not because of not a legal formation. It's so apparently there's no rule where your whole team can spin around in a circle, break in your huddle, break the huddle, immediately go to the play and snap and hike the ball.
I think more teams should take after that. Play like playground games. Before they snap the ball, like
it's gonna get social media clicks, but just the straight disrespect though.
If we're adding playground games, what's combined football and dodgeball for once?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nelson Aguilar actually perfected that.
Zing.
My. So.
Or we can play tag with the helmet. I know Myles Garrett knows something about that.
Baker Mayfield too.
Yeah.
He's Baker Mayfield read an encyclopedia entry about Rams, learned that they do headbutting things, and was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome!" Boom.
Now let me just smack my head and everyone burn.
Okay, Baker. If you wanna, if you wanna.
This is how you turn into Chris Benoit. Just want to make that very clear.
Very
Screw it.
true.
I'd love Baker Mayfield in the WWE.
But like for the Raiders, though, it's the last game of the season. You know, your chance to play a rival. Literally, it's like watching the Chiefs play the Raiders was like a cat batting a ball down all over the room. That's what it felt like. I mean, they lock up.
Shout out.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, by the way, shout out. Like, if it wasn't bad enough that the Chiefs were basically just humiliating the Raiders, shout out to the Raiders organization for embarrassing themselves by basically saying, yeah, anyone with something saying fire Josh McDaniels, get out of our building.
Oh my god.
You can't be saying that. You cannot be saying that.
Wasn't there also another report of how it's mostly opposing fans that are showing up to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
And now Mark Davis is triggered by it, but it's also like, I mean, my brother in Christ, you moved the team to the biggest tourist attraction in the nation. What did you think was gonna happen?
You know, that might be a dumber take than that time Derek Carr said, "You're not a true Raider fan if you don't follow us to Vegas." Like, give me a break.
And the difference is we know the Golden Knights, they're homegrown in Vegas.
Yeah, there's a reason they worked because they formed a bond very early in their history, and that's why they still have so many fans to this very day, along with winning. But forming a bond is huge, and the Raiders have not done that yet, and I don't know when they're gonna do that. And it's much harder when you're not a homegrown team.
And it's infinitely harder if you suck.
Especially,
and you're controversial.
Oh.
They were last season.
Oh yeah, they were a media nightmare, but it goes to show what great leadership you have with Derek Carr. I don't know, there's so many shoulda, woulda, coulda-ves. I'm just gonna nail it on the coffin and just say, yeah, maybe next time you use your first round picks appropriately. If you don't, those you're gonna miss on a lot of them. And that's what I think the Raiders, sorry, my bad. The Raiders are paying the price for. Whiffing on all those picks, man.
Wait to see Tom Brady in a Raider uniform next season.
Tom Brady's going to that dumpster fire?
Dude, Raiders fans!
Mark Davis needs a reason to justify Josh McDaniels. He needs anything to justify that hire. I think he might bankrupt himself just trying to get Brady, but I can see him doing that.
Zach Wilson, you are a Raider.
No, Zach Wilson's not a Raider. Oh, no.
Jimmy Garoppolo, you're a Raider.
Oh, why not Jimmy
Jones,
G?
you are a Raider.
Why? What's wrong with Jimmy Garoppolo? He's younger than washed Tom Brady. He's younger than washed Brady. I can't believe that.
I get the feeling either Tom Brady or Mac Jones will be a quarterback for the Raiders. I just get the feeling it's going to happen.
Yeah, I could see that. I could
Watch
see
it
that.
be Matt Patricia suits up. Put me in, coach.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Or let me bring out the name from the past. Ryan Mallett for the Raiders.
No.
What's Ryan up to?
Isn't he a practice squad for some team?
Is he still in the league?
I doubt it.
Oh, last he played, he was in the TSL, the Spring League.
Oh, okay.
That was in 2021, but it seems like he's retired.
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Now he's a football coach for the Whitehall School Board.
Ain't that a name? Ain't
Yeah,
ain't.
Well, that's a better fate than being the Raiders quarterback.
Oh, it
Spe-
is. I think the
Speaking of high
Raiders.
school coaches,
Go for it.
that's kind of like where my first L of the year comes in. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly.
We still have a whole nother game to talk
We
about.
still do. Raiders are doomed with Mark Davis. Good luck. You're going to need it. Anyways.
Get it? Luck because there's casinos in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck. You should have
But
moved the
then-
Chargers to Vegas. They would have been a better sell.
Yeah, I agree.
Should have kept the Raiders in Oakland. So what happens when you leave the Bay?
Either
Look for
that
the
or
ball.
like either should have kept them in Oakland or moved them to LA so they can still get a good stadium in that situation.
Yeah.
And still have your fans.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Allegiant Stadium is nice.
Legion Stadium's a great stadium. It's just they weren't able to really take the fans with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're all on probation.
That's true.
Oh my god!
What was that?
No. I've seen many Raiders fans that would literally go to a game over their freaking daughter's wedding.
Oh yeah.
Just who they are.
Exactly. All right, next we got the Titans and the Jaguars.
Fire Todd Downing. That needs to be said right away.
Well, how about you just don't fumble the ball with 3 minutes left to play? I was surprised that was called a fumble.
Oh, and of course, congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Huge,
A very well-earned win,
congratulations.
and I hope you do good things with your AFC South title.
You're gonna have to play. Oh wait, no, they're the 4th seed. Oh, they're gonna have to
They
play
played-
Baltimore or
the Chargers. Chargers or Baltimore.
Ooh.
Should be an intriguing game if it's Jags Chargers.
Jags Chargers, that would be fun. Cause keep in mind, Jacksonville did shut them out earlier this year.
Yeah, like Jags Plus, it's like I don't really associate those fans as being like really toxic in any way.
Yeah, it's hard to be it's hard to have toxic fans when you know they don't exist.
Oh, you mean like Wyoming?
No. Chargers fans don't exist.
Just like Wyoming doesn't exist.
Seriously, the only reason people know about Wyoming is Josh Allen and that guy and the Wilford Brimley dude.
Yeah, that and Yellowstone. That's basically the only main reasons.
Yellowstone National Park is great. They have it's Yellowstones. I've been to Yellowstone.
And they have a giant ass volcano.
Yep.
Okay, so
That could erupt at any time and kill us.
Okay, so for any Canadians in chat, Wyoming is like our version of none of it.
Only more boring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Saskatchewan.
Oh yes, Saskatchewan.
Oh.
Saskatchewan.
Do you guys think Saskatchewan doesn't exist?
Nope.
Just like Todd Downing's offense?
Yep. It's all flat. It doesn't need to exist. It's just flat.
Saskatoon Blues.
Yeah. They call the Broncos now.
What's to do in Saskatoon?
That's a good question. Good question. Play an exciting game called Find That Mountain! Cause it's all flat.
Joke's on you. You lose because you're in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, true that. I'm pretty happy. I certainly cannot wait. to see what Jacksonville can do. As for the Titans, I think injuries. I think it's mostly injuries. Titans were in control for most of this game. They were in control. They were in the driver's seat. Trevor Lawrence couldn't get anything done in the fourth quarter. He couldn't. You had to run on a fumble recovery for a touchdown. For your defense played amazing. I think Jacksonville has a good defense. Nice to see Travon Walker make a bunch of critical plays tonight, because I haven't heard a whole lot I haven't heard a lot of his name this year, which is concerning since Hutchinson has been a lot
A superstar for the Lions.
He's been he's been a homegrown talent, whereas Travon Walker, you're kind of just raising your eyebrow. I'm still raising my eyebrow at that pick.
The old Dwayne Johnson eyebrow.
Yeah. But good to see him stepping up and making some really clutch plays today. That defense stepped up when he needed to. I wasn't so sure about Trevor Lawrence in that offense. And for all we know, it could have been 16-16 going to overtime. So, good defensive play by Jacksonville. I think Tennessee just is all injured to heck and back. Couldn't do much with it. You miss Ryan Tannehill a lot. And it's a shame because you really hope that Malik Willis could show you something, but dude's a third-round pick for a reason. He was picked in the third round for a reason.
So I just gotta say, I think the Titans, especially now, and we know about Todd Downing. We all know our thoughts on, what should be done with him, but I definitely gotta start wondering, or just ask, guys, is it time to have a talk about Mike Vrabel? Because honestly, I feel like he should be doing a better job than he's been doing.
Well, he hasn't lost.
Valid point.
It's a valid point.
That's true.
But he hasn't lost the locker room yet.
I mean, I don't think they should fire him, but I will say, and Trey did actually say this in his server. He actually responded to me because I asked, is he past his expiration date? And he said, no, he would say, I feel like Vrabel needs to stop surrounding himself with yes men.
Yep, most definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's a good point because I think Vrabel should stay for now, but definitely there should definitely be more pressure on him to really expand, at least open up the box and stuff. Just expand outside the box and not be directing yourself with yes men.
Yes.
And also that Isaiah Wilson draft. Don't ever do that again.
Ooh, that was a really bad draft. You trade, at least you got a 7th round pick. Was it a conditional 7th?
Let me find out.
And more importantly, is this guy still in the league?
As far as I remember, he left the league to pursue his SoundCloud rap career.
Wait, Isaiah Wilson?
Yeah.
SoundCloud? SoundCloud rap? Really?
Yeah, he goes under the stage name GG Bowser.
It
was
my God.
millions in the NFL. Instead, you wanted to be yo. You want to hear my mixing tape? 'Tis fire. Hey, you want to hear my mixtape?
The Titans got a 7th round pick in 2021 in order to send Isaiah Wilson and a 7th in 2022 to Miami.
Oh my God! All right, what's up? What was the? Is this guy a player? They select that pick at least still on the team, or is he?
They used that pick to trade up with Carolina, and they used that to select a guy by the name of Des Fitzpatrick.
Position?
He is a practice squad wide receiver.
Okay. He might have
Meanwhile,
one
the
last
Carolina
chance.
Panthers, the Panthers selected a guy named Phil Hoskins, also a practice squad guy. And the Dolphins, believe it or not, selected with their pick from... they selected a guy by the name of Skylar Thompson. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he was the third stringer that started a few games in Miami this year when Tua brain hurty.
Oh my god, even the Dolphins got more use out of that pick. The pick the Titans gave them.
Jesus.
Oh my god. It doesn't matter. Skylar Thompson just starting is all you need. Skylar Thompson just starting is all you need to know. The Titans even swung and missed in dealing Isaiah Wilson. Oh my god.
A lot of people need to be fired in Tennessee. I'm serious. That is just failure.
You're not
I
wrong.
don't
You're not wrong.
Who's their... Oh, they fired their general manager December 6th.
After A.J. Brown torched them.
Yeah.
They got a guy by the name of Ryan Cowden.
Man, ooh. I mean, for Tennessee, what do you do if you're Tennessee? I do not know.
Just the Titans, right for me, they are stuck in football hell. That's how I see it.
Just go back to just go back to Houston. Maybe that'll fix it.
But hey, at least they're getting a new stadium, right? At least they're getting a...
Yeah, they are.
It looks like it looks like it belongs in the Grand Ole Opry area of town, but you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick Laine with the goal.
Ooh. But yeah, congratulations to Jacksonville. The one thing that I'm at least happy that I told people was Doug Peterson has a way of sneaking into the playoffs when you least expect it. He has a way. He knows how to sneak into the playoffs without
Just
even
like he
trying.
snuck into my heart.
He snuck in with Jacksonville. He snuck in with Jacksonville. He snuck in with the Eagles many times. So he has an act of sneaking in. So watch
He's a
out.
sneaky little boy. Watch out.
He'll just sneak right on in. He's like a jump scare when you least expect. He's like, oh my god, you're in there. Oh, you're in the playoffs? Oh god.
Yeah, screw Five Nights at Freddy's. I want like week 17 at Doug's.
Week 17. 18. Oh.
But you know, who cares about dumb stuff like the AFC South? Let's move on to awards that are a bit more prestigious, like the biggest L's of 2022.
The biggest L's. My favorite topic. I wouldn't have any other way. There are many people in the sports world that took an L so large that one might argue it was the biggest L of the year. I will start off with my probably lower. It's gonna be 5. It's gonna be in any order. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go for my low hanging fruit, Qatar, for their wonderful, wonderful performance in the FIFA World Cup, going 0-3 and scoring 1 goal. Good Lord, us Canadians put more of a fight. What the fuck did you fuckers do? You took an L so bright that it guided Santa's sleigh that night. and we all pointed and laughed. I hope you guys get some use out of that stadium, you pigs. Fuck Qatar and fuck that government. But yeah, the soccer team's gets the first L. My first nominee for the L of the year. Way to host the World Cup and do jack shit with it. Even Russia did something when they hosted the World Cup. So that's my low-hanging fruit for L of the year. Who wants to give their other L?
I'm gonna go with this L of the year. I'm gonna say this in a somewhat Schadenfreude manner because I'm a Niner fan. My nominee for L of the year is the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, so you guys started the year by winning the Super Bowl. Good on you, girl. And I mean, you gave a bunch of picks to get a bunch of veterans, and you did it again in this offseason. I mean, this all worked out, right? I knew things were going bad for y'all when y'all lost week one, but yeah, it's just week one, right? Well, what if you kept losing and losing and losing, and you kept getting owned by other teams, especially my Niners, who beat you twice, and look what that brought you. Out of the playoffs and the worst ever defending champ in the NFL. Jeez, that is what I call a lockout of the year. Rams, I'm sorry to say this, but the all the giving up of picks. I mean, was it really worth it? I mean, you guys did win a ring, but you guys are screwed basically the next 10 years. You're basically.
Oh, continue.
As a Vikings fan, I'd take that trade every time.
Yeah, you take that trade. You take that. You trade. I'd easily take losing my picks for the Super Bowl because you got the Super Bowl. But I think the crowning achievement for this L is Sean McVay might retire.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I forgot to mention that.
You take the trade, but at the same time, it does not help the fact that the Rams. I feel like the failure of it is the fact that you still haven't developed a fan base because of the Super Bowl.
Oh,
okay, that's true. They have more. People in Detroit were happier for that Super Bowl than in LA.
That's a good one. Oh, they win a Super Bowl and still the fans don't care. Holy shit.
Besides, think about it. LA only cares about the Lakers. LA only cares about the Dodgers and the Lakers. They don't care about the Rams even after the Super Bowl. They don't even care about the Kings after 2 Stanley Cups.
It's basically Lakers, Dodgers, and every other team is on rent. That's literally how it works in LA.
Would you argue that the Kings have better relevance than the LA Rams? Are the LA Kings?
I mean, the Kings did have Gretzky.
That's a big one. 2 Stanley Cups. Also in the 2000s. Also,
even the Raiders have more pulse than the Rams.
Yeah.
The Niners have more fans in LA than the Rams.
Mm-hmm. It goes to show you that we all fantasized about LA being a viable football market. It's not. It's okay. They can enjoy having opposing fans showing up to their stadiums every game of the year.
But you know it is
welcome to Levi's South.
Today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. I'm gonna make sure that's the first sponsor. Is Raid Shadow Legends. Tristan, I know. I'm sorry, but me existing in the 2000s, and I get it's 20 years ago. So shut the fuck up. Yeah. All right, who's next for their number 5 L nominee?
I have to put on my
one. That's a good one.
Nick, go next. I have to prepare my radio voice.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll go next. There's definitely a lot of L's that I could go with. I could go with one that's already been said, but I'll save that for another number. I'll save that down the line. But obviously, one that comes to mind for me is Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay for hiring a freaking analyst on ESPN who had only coached at a high school level and wasn't even good at coaching high school football, and made him your head coach. You made Jeff Saturday your head coach. And granted, don't get me wrong, did beat the Raiders. They do suck. That was funny as hell. Everything after that has been an absolute embarrassment for the Indianapolis Colts. A once great franchise with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, and a quarterback that was hyped up to be one of the potential greats, only to have his career ruined because you did jack shit to improve the situation around them. Now you're in this situation, and genuinely, I'm gonna be real with the Colts right now and Jim Irsay. Unless you get someone like Jim Harbaugh, if you can't get someone like him, you're probably fucked for the next 5 to 10 years. And honestly,
All right. Funny, that was mine too.
that's why I didn't go too far.
And coming in at number 5, it's Jim Irsay with the ultimate culmination of 10 years of failure with the Indianapolis Colts. It all started back in the 2012 NFL Draft when Ryan Gregson drafted Andrew Luck and proceeded to do squat with building a team around him. You wonder why the Houston Texans won so many of those division titles. Well, it was because Indianapolis couldn't do anything to build around Andrew Luck. And surprise, surprise, when they finally did, he was so beat up he decided to retire at 29. And of course, it's been a carousel ever since, with guys like Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett, Carson Wentz, and now Matt Ryan. Things got even so bad, they decided to hire a high school head coach by the name of Jeff Saturday. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he was playing back in the 2000s. Of course, you may be wondering what led a man to do this kind of thing. Well, it's because Jim Irsay likes the smell of his own shit.
When is this movie coming out?
Sorry, I don't know where I was going with that voice. That was a little too silly. Coming up next, Nirvana with Smells Like Teen Spirit on Sicko Radio.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
It's a Jim Irsay. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. All right, the next L that I have, I think as since I was a Seahawks fan, how about the Broncos how about the Russell Wilson trade? I can't think of an L more prestigious to give to that than the Denver Broncos. That trade looks so bad. You're praying to all heavens that you swearsies that it was, how bad of a coach Nathaniel Hackett is. You're praying and begging to the stars that it was Nathaniel Hackett being a shitty head coach. You're praying and begging that it's Nathaniel Hackett. You're praying. You're hoping it is. You're hoping that it's Nathaniel Hackett. Because right now, what you've given Seattle is you've given Seattle about 3 picks in the top 40. And you would love to have those picks because somehow statistically, Drew Lock in 2021 has been statistically better than Russell Wilson. All I gotta say is, we'll see what happens with your pick. It could jump to number 2. it might drop to number 5. We'll see what happens, but yeah, that trade looks god-awful where Seattle has added an offensive lineman and a running back for the next decade. So,
Stay the line, Bart.
yeah, Broncos country. Let's ride. Thanks for the picks.
Yay!
Thanks for Shelby Harris. Thanks for Noah Fant. Thanks for those guys. I mean, they won't be on the team next year, maybe Noah Fant, but probably not Shelby Harris or Drew Lock. But thanks for giving us the offensive tackle. We appreciate him. We love him. We're gonna enjoy Will Anderson Jr. Thank you.
I don't know about that last part, but yeah, I agree with everything else you said.
What, you think you're getting Will Anderson Jr.? You think you're getting Will Anderson Jr.? What happened to trading that pick away? Will Anderson Jr. is a Seahawk. He is.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on that.
I know you're deciding on it, but I think you want the I think you'd be wanting I think you want the picks, and I think you guys want Jackson Smith. I think you guys should take him. Get yourselves an elite receiving core to help Fields. Right. He needs a lot of help, and that's a start in the right direction. But Will Anderson Jr. is exactly the pick that Seahawk needs on defense. So thank you, Denver. Dang.
Right, so I'm guessing Aiden is next up because we're going in the same order that we did for number 5.
Yep.
Okay. So in my previous pick, I dumped on an NFC West team. I'm gonna do it again, and this time I'm going after the Cardinals. First of all, he started the year, doing usual Cardinals stuff, choking in the playoffs. When you've already pretty much choked weeks beforehand, and you thought that was bad, right? Oh, it gets worse. First of all, Kyler Murray's contract. Well, I mean, it's a good contract, but what really makes me laugh is the clause that he has to do like in-home studying of the playbook. Because apparently he's addicted to video games. Look, Kyler, I know you love Call of Duty, but you're an NFL quarterback.
He's
you
just
got
like
this
me
opportunity.
for real.
But you thought that was worse, right? Well, I mean, it's tough enough that you share a division with us. It's tough enough that you share a division with the surprisingly decent Seahawks. But you guys just collapsed. You didn't even wait for the playoffs to collapse. You collapsed the entire season. I'm going to say this right now as a rival fan. I'm sorry. Cliff Kingsbury is not him. I don't care if Kyler is your quarterback or whoever else is your quarterback. Kingsbury is not him. You got to send him to, I don't know, the USFL, the college, the CFL, I don't know, whatever football league is in the world, because he is not him. He is not the coach. And you guys, unfortunately, unless the Rams, the Rams are doing pretty bad, but you guys are probably worse because unlike the Rams, you don't have a ring. And probably won't have for a long time.
I think the thing that really surprises me about Arizona is the theme this year was how bad their week-to-week prep was, and they never changed anything. They never turned anything around. All players admitted how bad their weekly prep was, and they did absolutely nothing about it. They didn't change anything throughout the week. They made no adjustments.
You don't get it, bro. They tried nothing, but now they're all out of ideas.
They didn't do anything. It's the whole theme around the season was how bad their week-to-week prep was. And what are you guys gonna do about it? Nothing? Okay. Good to know. You're gonna do nothing? All right, that's good. Good to know. Thank you for reminding me that Cliff Kingsbury was a bad hire. And as to quote Gridiron Heights, yo, let me go get Cliff. Yo, no, don't walk off a cliff, Cliff. No. Oh. Yeah,
Don't
we're
worry,
not...
guys. I coached Mahomes in college.
He got
He
fired from Texas Tech, and you thought he was a good
5
idea.
and 7 nearly every year. He literally the final season in college football, Cliff went 5 and 7, and Arizona thought, this might be a good idea. This might be a good idea, guys.
I mean, at least you're doing a smart thing in firing Steve Keim, but let's be real. You guys kind of screwed the pooch on this one. You guys
Who's the next guy coming through the door? Is he gonna be any good?
You do everything to get Sean Payton if you are smart. Because Sean Payton will change those habits of Kyler Murray's. He'll change those nasty habits. He needs a coach that... He needs like a Belichick type guy. Someone to keep him in line. He really needs someone like that.
Fortunately for Arizona, they are not Walmart.
Yeah. We'll see, but how does it feel firing your coach and GM year 1 into their extensions? Because that's a good idea. That was a good idea.
Alright, so I suppose next up that means Nick, what's your number 4?
It's time for number 4 as we head to Texas for a little lesson on tradition.
Oh?
Tradition. Tradition. How do I put this? But tradition of a college football program making their fans want to drink liquor all the damn time. That is the story of what Texas A&M did this season. Just because of the fact that they went... Not just the fact that they went 5 and 7 and missed the bowl game, while also having the #1 recruiting class in college football entering this season. But the fact that your head coach, who apparently might be having some locker room issues because losing when you're supposed to have high expectations is not good for the environment. You can't fire him because you have his buyout, Jimbo Fisher's buyout, is only a small price tag. Let's see, what's the small price tag? Oh God, it's $86 million.
Hey, don't worry. They solved it. They brought in a new guy at offensive coordinator.
None other
Ladies
than
and gentlemen.
Bobby Petrino.
Yay!
Congratulations, you have completely made yourself even more unlikable than you were before. That's impressive considering how bad your prep rallies are to the point where literally the university was getting so triggered by how much people were making fun of their prep rallies that they started filing copyright strikes against us.
No.
Congratulations, Texas A&M. Thanks for usually when a school like mine loses the top talent, that usually sucks considering Bobby was supposed to be at UNLV. But the fact that it's Bobby Petrino, good riddance. I hope you enjoy him.
I have a funny thing about Bobby Petrino is he walked out on another head coaching job. I think that's the funniest thing. But yeah, ugh. Texas A&M, congratulations! You will always be the armpit of the SEC. Don't worry, your daddy.
Oil money ain't gonna save you.
Yep, don't worry, your daddy, Alabama, will always remind you where you belong. Good luck.
All right, so my number 4 is also Luke's number 4. The Russell Wilson trade. Which, as a Vikings fan, I remember hearing a lot of stories from my dad about how, the Herschel Walker trade completely ruined the franchise and made the Vikings organization into a laughingstock. I just wanted to mention that because, thank you, Denver Broncos, we're no longer the worst trade in NFL history. You guys are!
Well, I mean, here's the
Thanks
thing.
for saving the bacon of the Vikings organization.
There's still 5 years left on Russell Wilson. They could hire Russell Wilson could easily turn it around, But if Russell Wilson doesn't turn it around,
if he keeps going the way he does in 2022, it's very much,
Oh, yeah.
you know, like,
oh, absolutely.
we're free, we're finally free.
You're not there yet. You're not there yet. You're not there yet. You're almost there, but you're not there
I can
quite
smell
yet.
it. I can smell the freedom.
I'm sorry, but that trade alone made the Dallas Cowboys into the most obnoxious franchise in NFL history. They're obnoxious because of that trade.
Also, I also put Russell Wilson at number 4 because he managed to lose an endorsement from Subway because he was playing so badly. Like, how do you lose a Subway promotion and not be fucking Jared Fogle? That's like a level of embarrassment I didn't even know was possible.
I know, but here we go again. It's
The Danger Witch. Watch out,
dangerous.
though. It's
Ooh,
spicy.
So spicy. Feeling dangerous?
No hot peppers. It's so spicy.
You feel dangerous? Ooh, that's spicy. Ooh, it's hot.
Oh,
Careful.
man. But yeah, number
Careful.
4. Russell Wilson.
Careful. Careful. Ooh. Spicy.
All right, Luke, what's your number 3?
All right, number 3. I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers. Mine's not in any order. It probably would be a number 5. But, you know, the Texas Rangers, you guys are so adorable. Thinking that you need to spend, you know, $2 billion on free agents and still have a losing record. That's adorable. Your solution? Do that again. Aw, you guys are so adorable. The Rangers think they're competitive. Aw, you're so adorable. You guys, I do not get the Texas Rangers logic when it comes to baseball ops, because I think they're still nowhere near ready yet. They've had prospects that have made their debut last year, but they didn't really make much of an impact. I don't know what you do if you are this team. But spending billions of dollars on washed up free agents, yeah, that's an option. No, it's not. Sure, they did the right thing. They clean house. But what did this house do again? Oh, you know, let's take a little look see. Let's take a little look see what they did this year. I think I should just stop typing the letter R. All right. Jacob deGrom. Oh boy. Oh, he's only 1 year. Jacob deGrom. Oh boy, you guys are adorable. Nathan Eovaldi. Oh, look at that money. Andrew Heaney. You guys are adorable. Please keep on doing it. You know, they're not ready to compete yet. They are far from ready to be competing. Give me a winning season with your core. And, you know, maybe then you might be able to do something. But until then, Jacob deGrom, he's 34. And you signed him to 5 years for $37 million. What
Genius.
are you doing? I mean, here's the thing. You're making that. Why are you trying to retool like the Angels? Go ask the Los Angeles Angels how well that's been for them when you're trying to spend so much when you don't have the prospect pool or your prospects ready yet. This screams of trying to shield your prospects. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me you're shielding your prospects. What are y'all doing? Oh, it's okay. I'll enjoy seeing your guys' losing record again. I know the Athletics are doing jack and or shit. But good lord. Keep going. You guys are just still adorable. You guys are nowhere near ready to compete yet, and yet here you are throwing shitload of money at free agents. At least the Mariners, you could say, oh man, they made the playoffs. Wait, they've only signed one player so far. My response to that is because we are waiting to extend Gilbert, Cal Raleigh, Ty France. Those are the big guys that we need to make sure are on the team for the long term. That's the goal. But Rangers, you guys are adorable. Keep going your direction. You guys are not going to succeed. The Rangers are not going to succeed. You're still going to be better than the Angels. Probably better than the A's. Maybe better than the Angels. But your daddies, the Astros, they're our dad too. They'll remind you where you guys are really quick. The only good news is that you're going to be facing the Mariners and the Astros a lot less. Bad news, you won't have those free wins over the Athletics either. So, good luck, Rangers. You're going to need it.
Oh, are they moving?
No, they're not moving. But good luck. You guys are going to need it. You're gonna need it.
Also, may I mention that the skipper of the Rangers, their new manager, happened to be the old guy Bruce Bochy, our former manager of the Giants, who by the way is probably wondering why in the world he came out of retirement.
Why is that?
Keep it's hilarious. Like Corey Seager, he's gonna fix everything. They pay big money to players that are average, your average good guys on good ball teams, not franchise changing talent. Get out of here. What are you? Oh, what are you? Rangers, you're adorable. Keep being adorable. You'll just lose to your team every year, and you can't get rid of the contracts, so they're going to be albatrosses. Say hello to the new Baltimore Orioles, everybody. So, yeah, that's my number 3L.
All right.
At number 3.
All right, so now I'm gonna go for my number 3. We're gonna stay in baseball. However, this time I'm not gonna stick on one team. I'm gonna stick to 2 teams. I'm going to talk about Bay Area baseball in general. So I'm going to start out with my favorite team, the Giants. Okay, let's see. You guys in 2021, you guys shocked the entire baseball world by having the best record, and then you lost some Dodgers in the playoffs. But hey, future looks bright, right? You got Jock Peterson, you got Carlos Rodon. Well, what happened? 81-81, complete mid. Just average, bang average. That's literally what happened. Poor defense, poor bullpen outside of the ball. You guys just collapsed following the previous season. And then here comes the off season of reckoning. You need a big name. You need someone like Aaron Judge or Carlos Correa to bolster that lineup. What do you get? Hell no. Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto. A bunch of guys who are solid, but not exactly big names. By the way, did I mention how you guys failed to get those big names? Aaron Judge got leaked by Bay Area number 1 enemy, John Heyman. Didn't happen. He's remained a Yankee. Carlos Correa almost signed, found something in his physical, didn't sign, went to the Mets, and they found something in the physical again. And he lost for Doc.
There's something fishy going on with the Mets. The Mets aren't too happy about the signing right now because he didn't pass his physical. There's something with his physical that's not going right with the Mets either. Mets might be out of that contract too.
Yeah. So I would actually like to say something about the Giants offseason. It sucks, it's painful, but it really isn't as bad as I thought. It's not groundbreaking, and the Giants probably won't become competitive, but it's not doom and gloom. It's still painful. But I'm going to reserve my vitriol for the other Bay Area team, the Oakland A's. Oh boy, where do I start? after the 2021 season where the A's just collapsed in the second half, they basically sold everything, and then they were like, you know what, we're just gonna suck so that fans could lose interest and as we could just move to Vegas. What I saw was not a baseball team. What I saw was basically the death of baseball in Oakland. I mean, granted, the Howard Terminal project could still push through, and isn't quite dead yet. But really, does Oakland care now? At this point, I won't be surprised if they move. And at this point, does Vegas even want them anymore? I mean, Vegas can even fill the Raiders stadium. They're too focused on the Knights. At this point, they should just move to, I don't know, Sacramento, Big Sur, Gilroy. That's what happens when you're cheap. That's what happens when you have
Louis.
arguably the worst goal. Well, St. Louis. Yeah.
No, give Chicago a third team. Give Chicago a third team.
No. Let's give Chico their first baseball team.
No, wait. Oh, Indianapolis. I always thought the A's would be a good fit in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a better idea for the A's. Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe Athletics. At this point, you guys aren't even worthy of Vegas anymore. Not even Sacramento. You guys are going to Lake Tahoe or Gilroy. That's what you get for being cheap. Yeah, it's a good thing the Bay has the Warriors and the Niners because Bay Area baseball is just. Ugh. Well, I mean the Giants are still promising, but the A's at this point just move to Reno. I don't care.
My whole thing with the Giants is this team historically will have they are probably the most volatile team. They're going to be super good one year and then super bad the next year. Super good, super bad. The Giants are going to win that division. The Giants are going to win the NL West. Watch it. Just watch.
The Giants are very much a gambler's favorite.
I really hope. I'm really praying that somehow our chaotic offseason will somehow result in a surprisingly good season.
I mean, Mitch is the thing. Mitch Haniger can be a start for the Giants, just when healthy. That's the big problem. He's not healthy. But if he is healthy, he's gonna be something to watch. I can tell you for that thing. You're gonna love Mitch. He's a total team player. He helped the Mariners to make the playoffs for the first time. We knew we weren't gonna be able to keep Mitch. We had too much of a log jam in the outfield. Too much, but yeah, can definitely see why the Giants are just. Big old thumbs down.
All right, since it's my turn, I've been thinking about what I'll do for this one because I'm honestly like there's others I have in mind, but honestly, for the sake of this podcast, I want to keep the biggest L's like diverse compared to what everyone's saying. So I'm thinking of like I'm thinking of ones that have come to mind I wasn't originally going to include, but it's like, you know what? This L can be very entertaining for someone to listen to. So my next one, we go to the fascinating world of wrestling. So, 2022 for wrestling was something. It was very, very drama-filled. That it needs to be said. It was probably definitely one of the craziest years this industry has ever had. From all the controversies, all the drama, and most infamously, someone like a certain McMahon stepping down, who, by the way, just returned. And yes, I am not happy about that, but that is for another day. But definitely one of the main like story like drama shit shows of 2022 for wrestling was the son of Shad Khan, Tony Khan, and his basically grown child, All Elite Wrestling, and their drama shit shows. Because in the summer, they were having a lot of locker room beef. Like we are talking all of the beef from Arby's. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that Arby's is getting their groove to. This one man I think of, one man I think of, goes by the name of CM Punk. This man, CM Punk, when he returned in 2021, was a joyous moment for the industry. This man had been out for 7 years, and fans were just waiting, chanting his name at shows, waiting more. Rumors, oh, he might return. He doesn't return. Rumors continue. Just keep on waiting until finally he returns. And it's a joyous moment. And for arguably almost a year into his run, it's going well. Then he gets an injury, which forces him to relinquish the main AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm like, okay, you know what? This sucks. This really fucking sucks. But it will down the line. You know what? Everything should be fine. He returns a couple months later. It's like, okay, this is going well. Then everything that could go wrong goes wrong because this is where we get beef. This is where we get Arby's. They should really sponsor AEW at this rate because of how much beef there was. But, oh god. Locker room shit shows intensify. This man basically, I'll just get to the point. This man called out the executive vice presidents of All Elite Wrestling, basically saying, yeah, you motherfuckers couldn't even run a Target if you tried, okay? You people are so goddamn incompetent. He basically did this after their biggest show of the year, and what do you think happens? This man gets into a brawl with them after the show, and basically, as of this point right now, gets himself fired. So the reason I'm doing this, the reason I nominate him, is because the reason I nominate CM freaking Punk is because not just because of the fact that, yes, I do include wrestling in terms of biggest L's of the year, but because this man in the wrestling industry, as a wrestling fan, was basically viewed as a god among wrestling fans for so long because of shit he exposed about WWE. He returns and basically just makes a fucking fool out of himself. So great job, man. Great job, Phil. You really fucking blew it.
All right.
Nice.
Fucking blew it.
Yep.
Excuse my language there, but yeah, it still pisses me off how it ended.
My number 3 is is sort of a legacy award. You know, I don't think they did too much in this year. You know, when we last left off, he kind of quit the game of NFL, but you know, he just kept popping up in the news. So, and it just felt wrong to not mention him as far as L's of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, number 3, Antonio Brown. Woo! You did it again. You got arrested in the last month of the year, and you had your wee wee out in a public pool. So,
by the way, let's not forget. I'm pretty sure the incident in the now infamous Buccaneers Jets games from last season that happened in 2022.
Oh yeah, so it is qualified for
Oh,
L of the year.
Absolutely
that's
is.
right.
Congratulations.
That was week 17 of last year. That's
Oh,
right. Oh yeah.
A B.
Oh, I
It's been another
forgot.
Oh my god. Congratulations, Antonio Brown. You idiot.
Yeah, it's another statistic in all the money is pissed away. That man has pissed away so much money I've lost fucking count. I've lost count.
Did you know that he tried performing Coachella?
I am very well aware that he tried performing Coachella. Oh my god, hold on. Oh, let's see. Oh my god, yeah, it was like January 2nd-ish. Wow! That's amazing! That's amazing!
It's been a hell of a year, Antonio.
Keep
Thanks
going. You keep your.
Thanks for the memes.
You're a constant reminder of why CTE is a thing in the NFL.
Do you have any words on Antonio Clown, Aiden?
We need that. He needs that like
I mean, seriously, for Antonio Brown, he speaks for himself. Honestly, he speaks for himself.
Honestly,
Worse.
funniest thing about Antonio Brown is literally the last man defending him is basically is one of the most controversial men in the world right now. That's literally all I gotta say about Antonio Brown.
Kanye West, baby.
He was employed by Kanye West Sports Agency.
Let's go,
He ran Donda Academy. Let's not forget that. He literally ran Donda Academy.
I don't know if that's an indictment on Antonio Brown or Kanye West.
Let's be real.
Sticks and stones, honestly. Sticks and stones. Like, both. Oh my god, yeah. Baby, that is a certain L. All right, I'm gonna go to the number. Well, it's in a list, but we're gonna go with number. I was debating about it, but you know what? I'm gonna go with Andrew Tate. He lost in the boxing arena at Twitter headquarters to a 19-year-old girl with autism trying to flex on her. Not only calling her out for no fucking reason whatsoever, that deflects on her that he's got so much cars and how rich he is and probably trying to slide in his DMs, which would also lead him to, getting fucking arrested by Romania. Although, unfortunately, with fact checkers, the pizza box wasn't the reason. But you know what? Shut up. I like to think because of the pizza box that he got arrested. So, thank you, Greta Thunberg. You handed, without a doubt, one of the biggest L's that you could have ever had because your widow Fifi's got hurt and now you are arrested. Have fun with that. Have fun catching this L, Andrew Tate. May your incels forever fuck off. That's my number 2.
All right, so for my number 2, this time I'm gonna go to the NBA. So I'm not quite sure if I could consider this a lockout of the year, but you know what? Since they're a division rival, I'm just gonna go and crap on them. The Phoenix Suns. Yes, they are a successful team. Yes, they are a playoff team. But you know what? You know what makes you guys losers of the year? All the shit talking. The number 1 seed supposedly. Oh, you're gonna own the Warriors. Did you own the Warriors? Nah. You fell short against the Dallas Mavericks. And yes, it was a 7-game series, but in Game 7, y'all didn't even try. The Phoenix Suns were arguably one of the best teams they had in their history, with arguably pole position in the NBA playoffs. Y'all choked.
Remember that time they lost 4 straight in the NBA Finals?
Oh yeah. Well, that was last year, but still, they're a division rival, so I'm gonna use that to laugh at them. And you know what? That was already embarrassing enough. It was even more embarrassing was the fact that there's a picture of Luka laughing at Devin Booker. And as a Warriors fan, I'm going to be honest, I was laughing. I was laughing when the Suns choked. I was laughing when the same team that made the Suns choke got demolished by the Warriors 4-1. I was laughing when we won the title and the Suns could only watch bitterly as they were like, "Oh, I guess we aren't them." And now, this year, I mean, you guys are a playoff team, but oh my God, you guys are in free fall. Without Devin Booker, y'all are in free fall. Suns,
Oh man.
I wish I had sympathy for you, but you know what? I'm a division rival. I'm a Warriors fan. You guys have been talking so much shit about us, but you know what? Kiss the rings. You guys are my number 2 of lockout of the year.
Oh yeah, Devin Booker. Gotta respect him because for me, he's a local boy.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great player.
He's
But you
from
know
Grand
what?
Rapids.
Yeah, I'll concede that Devin Booker is a great player, but you know what, Suns, your team is cursed. I'm sorry, your team is cursed.
Since Luke mentioned Andrew Tate, it gave me an idea of who I want to bring up next. It's a very topic that for a community that usually gets rightfully shat on because their takes usually age like absolute milk. So up next for me on biggest L's of the year, FTX and the entire crypto industry.
That's
Oh,
and that's probably the biggest L of just the year. Period. That is the
Probably the
biggest
this
L.
decade so far.
It's the fact that just from just a year to year basis, right? Just straight up year to year, right? Crypto is like Bitcoin has lost 75% of its value. NFTs probably about 95 to 99% of their value.
Are we including NFTs in this? Okay, we are including that garbage in this.
Yeah, the crypto space is now well known for it to being a giant scam. You know,
Tom Brady has lost 450 million on.
I'm hearing Binance. I'm hearing bad things about Binance too, but that's just more of a wait and see type thing.
Here's the thing with FTX in the crypto industry. It is hilarious, absolute comedy how it all came crashing down in such a spare amount of time. I mean, we all saw, like, I remember seeing the Super Bowl and seeing all these crypto ads just taking over. Yeah, for FTX is wondering, Larry was right.
Very.
My goodness, just FTX, you put your name out there. You sponsor the Miami Heat Arena. You have all these athletes endorsing you. You should be doing well, but then it turns out, oh my God, this is a scam. Who could have seen this coming? And congratulations, you lose all your value and you go into bankruptcy in 1 year after hitting an all-time high. And as for the rest of the crypto industry, just know nobody feels bad for you. Nobody feels bad for you considering how much you were shoving this crap down our throats.
That is very, very good, very fair point.
By the way, Sam Bankman-Fried, I hope you enjoy prison.
I do too. I'm surprised that he got arrested because I thought they weren't going to arrest him, but yes, he actually got surprisingly arrested. So, I guess you're not immune there, Sam. But yeah, FTX, it's bad. It's absolutely bad. Because especially when we're talking about investment, you don't fuck with people's money, bro. And they fucked with people's money.
And we want to talk about bad investments. NFTs have lost basically every single cent of their value, which, by the way, that's something worth smoking a pack over.
True that indeed. All right, Spencer, who's your number?
So my last 3 have kind of been, a little bit lighthearted, a little goofy. Just fair warning, my last 2 are kind of like serious topics that if they make you feel uncomfortable, I'm very sorry, but these these people are monsters, and they have earned L of the Year by essentially, you know, getting rid of any trace of humanity they had left in their bodies or corpses of whatever. Because number two, I'm going to be talking about an incident that happened February of 2022 in the NHL world. If you don't know already, the Chicago Blackhawks had a guy by the name of Brad Aldrich who sexually assaulted at least 3 men while he was coaching for the 2010 Chicago Blackhawks team. It was all very bad, very unfortunate. That was revealed in 2021. Eventually, when several people were brought to justice in 2022, Rocky Wirtz chose to have a press conference in which he hoped to clear some things up about this the Chicago Blackhawks thing. Not only did he not clear things up, he probably made things worse for any argument he had for Chicago Blackhawks changing anything in their organization. He famously said during the press conference, cutting off a journalist by saying, "We're not talking about 2010 anymore. We have moved on. Everybody has been fired, and we're not talking about that anymore. Please stick to more positive things. Stop spinning the media so it's so negative. Any more questions?" And basically, the entire press conference was like this. It was probably one of the most heartless and sensitive things I've ever seen a hockey owner say. And I've seen interviews with Harold Ballard, but fuck that just broke my heart. Just absolutely no compassion for any of the victims, like Kyle Beach. Just he saw the thing as something to brush under. And the crazy thing was, the question was, how do you plan on addressing a situation like this in the future? And his answer was essentially burying his head in the sand and saying that doesn't happen. Fuck off. Just
also there's been a sexual assault allegation from Team Canada as well. Hockey Canada has had a very rough year, losing several sponsors from their program, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens for the future for Hockey Canada. But same thing too, they're getting exposed for allegations from 2004, 2007, I think 2019, I believe. They're getting allegations of sexual assault, and yeah.
As much as it sucks to hear, I'm glad a lot of this is coming to light. So, survivors don't have to live in the dark anymore. And,
Yeah.
Still makes me sad that, one of my favorite sports, hockey, it's run by a bunch of dinosaurs who are willing to, sweep things under the rug and pretend they never happened. I'm just glad that the victims are finally able to get justice. It can't really take back what happened, but you know what? Step in the right direction. Hopefully, the sports organization can evolve too.
Yeah,
I just hope
culture is not good.
I hope they don't get Connor Bedard. I swear to God, if they get Connor Bedard, I will be super upset.
Just say this though.
Bedard's gonna be a shark.
Shut up! He's gonna be a coyote, and we're gonna like it.
I'll just say this. Look, I'll say this because fuck it. Really, it's just everything about it sucks. But also, honestly, I also feel bad for the players who had nothing to do with that situation, who have to be associated with that right now, because it's well, damn, our franchise employed an absolute monster 10 years ago, and I'm associated with that because, unfortunately, I am contracted with Chicago, and I also feel bad for the fans because and genuinely, it's just, damn, man. I mean, they might have their issues, but I'm glad for the Golden Knights' existence because Good God, being a Chicago Blackhawks fan right now would be depressing, to put it bluntly.
Agreed.
Yeah, fuck you, Rocky. I hope you burn in hell.
Yeah.
I hope Danny steals the team from you. I hope Danny Wirtz
Yeah.
becomes the sole owner. Rocky,
Either
go away.
die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and that's what Rocky's become.
Yeah, especially the Me Too movement. Don't fuck with that, man. You can't mess with that. That it's here. It's never going away. We have to hold ourselves more and more accountable every single day. Stuff like that will never go away. Sexual assault, it's never going away, guys. It's never going away. So let's behave yourselves.
I told you I told you these next L's of the year would get uncomfortable.
It will. It will.
All right, Luke, who's your number one?
My number one, and this is number one on my list, the Toronto Sports. For several reasons. We're going to go with the lighter end. Losing Game 7 to the 76ers, whose team was injured to all hell and back. They could have come back 1-7, but just another notch in the rope known as sports. We're gonna go off with the Toronto's ever so frustrated Maple Leafs ever so frustrating quest of making it past the first round of the fucking playoffs. They can never do it. They can't do it. No matter how hard they try, they can't get past the first round of the playoffs. And guess what? They can't even do it again. So, again, another notch in the belt. On top of that, the Blue Jays blowing a... Was it 8-1?
It was
8-1 against the Seattle Mariners. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing, Blue? You said last year's was just a trailer. This year is the movie. Yeah, the Mariners have a thing called Chaos Ball. They came back, swept your ass in the wild card, and danced on your grave. Good job, Toronto. Enjoy these L's that you keep bringing. At least you'll know, boys, that once Toronto loses the first round of the playoffs this year, you'll be content and comforted as the Blue Jays will find a way to lose in the wild card round again, as we can't get past the first round of anything. Again. Oh, yeah, and the Raptors are bad this year, too. So, yeah. Not looking good for Toronto right now. Oh, what's this? The Toronto Argonauts won the Grey Cup. Nobody but fucking Alberta, Saskatchewan, or Manitoba gives two shits about the CFL, and you know it.
Wait. We will have Canadian football coverage on the Untitled Sickos League.
We will be talking. You know what? We are going to be masochists, and we are going to be watching most XFL, USFL, and CFL. Because, god damn it, we here at the Untitled Sickos Project, we love football! Yeah! Yeah.
Yeah!
Sorry, I had a hairball. So we're gonna enjoy some good old sports ball. So yeah, it's my those are my L's of the year. Those are my L's of the year nominee. I think if I were to put them in order, I think number 1's Toronto, easily. 2 is probably Tate. 3 is the Broncos trade. 4 is Qatar, and I think 5 are the Texas Rangers. Those probably be in my order. But yeah, that's
the
those
Rangers,
are my
so
L. Cute. So catch this L and then go away.
All right, so I guess my turn for my number 1 L of the year. So as you can tell, I've gone across multiple sports. I talked about football, about my first 2 L's. Talk about baseball for my 3rd L. and basketball for my fourth L. This time we're gonna go to a sport that most of the world knows as football, but us Americans and Canadians know as soccer.
Oh, don't forget
And I'm
Iran. They have to call it soccer. They lost to the USA in FIFA. Sorry, we don't make the rules. Sorry.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
Da 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 da.
Fuck you, England, you British twat.
All right. So now for soccer. So we do know that one of the goats won a World Cup. Yeah, Messi won the World Cup. Whoa, but what about the other goat? What about his biggest rival, Cristiano Ronaldo? Well, he didn't win a World Cup, but we know he won the biggest L in my book. Let me start out by me saying, you know what? I'm a United fan, and I feel strongly about this guy. This guy is one of the reasons why I started watching Man United when I was a little kid. It was him, Scholes, Carrick, Ferdinand, Park. That team holds a special place in my heart. And Ronaldo, I consider him as one of the greatest players in the game. But oh my God, the past year has been so embarrassing for him. Let's start with the fact that United during the 2021-2022 season was a disaster. After Solskjaer flamed out, we went with like an interim coach, Ralph Rangnick. He wasn't good, but you know what? I mean, Ronaldo was one of our best scorers, but in hindsight, he kind of ruined the structure of the team. United recently has been focused on high pressing, quick counterattacks, and like a more fluid and speedy attack. Ronaldo slowed it down. I'm sorry, dude, but you're old. And that would have been okay if we were winning, but we weren't. And then come to the next season, we have a new coach, Eric Ten Hag. Huge improvement. A lot of players have improved. Rashford has improved. Fernandes is still good. That guy we got, what's his face? Lisandro Martinez. He's really good. Varane is good. You know who isn't good? Ronaldo. Ronaldo, one of the GOATs. I get it because you're old, but you know what? You're done. You've been benched. Rashford is now our best forward. You have no place in the team right now with Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Elanga, all the talent on their team. You have no place anymore. Now, you know what? If you had just retired and, kept your dignity, I wouldn't be roasting you like this, CR7. But you know what? You know what you did? You had an interview with fucking Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, one of the most hated, quote-unquote, journalists in all of the world, especially in England. That all but ruined all of your goodwill with United fans. And while you know what, I admit you had made some good points about how our ownership sucks, about how our team is focused more on building a brand than building a team. But you know what? You didn't have to do the team like that, man. You didn't have to throw Ten Hag under the bus, dude. The reason why you've been benched is because you're old. You're done. Goodbye. You're a team legend, but goodbye. Just take the L, man, and move on. And unfortunately, you know what? United forced you to move on. Your contract was terminated, and look at where you're at right now. You didn't win the World Cup, and now you're in some team in Saudi Arabia where, honestly, who the hell knows where you are? And honestly, who the hell cares about you anymore? Messi won the World Cup. The world's now caring about guys like Mbappe, Neymar. United fans don't give a shit about you anymore. We give a shit about, Rashford, Fernandes, Eriksen, Anthony, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro. Who gives a shit about you now, Ronaldo? You played yourself. You're done. Get the fuck out. Pardon my language, but you know what? You were once one of my favorite players. You're one of the greatest players of all time. But you know what? You're done. You're fucking done. You're done. Goodbye. Adios.
I was really hoping it was going to play in the MLS because then I would have been right. Oh, it's pretty close. That was this close. So I was kind of close. It was just super close. But anyways,
turn.
You're up, Nick.
My turn for this. This number one. This is one that even if I didn't edit my list to make for more options that weren't repeats of what others here have said, this one is very good contender for number one regardless. This man has been controversial decades now. Is an owner of one of the most infamous, notorious franchises for being an absolute dumpster fire. And to jog some memories of what franchise I'm talking about here. Culture. It's actually damn good. Because number one on my biggest L's of 2022 is Daniel Mark Snyder. Good God, there's so much I could talk about here with Dan Snyder, considering it feels like we are hitting the climax of his ownership as of the Washington Commanders. Had to make sure I didn't say that wrong, considering entering the year, I just started getting used to calling it the Washington football team. But you know what? Decided to give them a name that nobody in your fan base actually wanted. They honestly wanted either stuff like Red Tails, Red Wolves would have been the favorite, or hell, even Red Hawks would have worked. But no, you had to go for the basic name, the Washington Commanders. But you know what? Honestly, I can't really shit on that because it did give us the funny nickname of you guys being the commies. But then you reveal uniforms, and it's basic as hell. Granted, not the most basic thing they'll put on the field this season, but at the same time, still an L from Dan Snyder. Then, of course, we have the whole toxic workplace environment, which is basically the biggest. How do I put this? It's a secret that basically is as clear as the sky being blue. Like, genuinely, everyone knew this was coming at some point, but it's almost absolutely hilarious. The real reason why Dan Snyder's on his way to getting himself in prison is because he decided to fuck with the IRS. Anyone who knows, you don't mess with the IRS. Not even the Joker will mess with the IRS. That's how secure they are about making sure people give them what they want. Dan Snyder, knowing his massive ego, decided I'm gonna mess with the IRS, and look what happened. You're in trouble now. But honestly, there's so many other embarrassments with Washington this season. The freaking, I mean, technically this one was in 2023, but you know what? It was concepted in 2022. Big Tutty, the freaking mascot that I think people are just wondering, what are we even doing here?
I want to say I think that's probably the only thing they did right.
Fair enough.
I think that's the only thing they did right.
Something that they didn't do right, however, was that the now just mocked to death Sean Taylor statue, which was just an absolute joke when it got revealed. It's literally a freaking mannequin. It's literally the kind of shit you would see at a mall that's run down and will probably be closing within the next decade. What the hell are you doing with this stuff? God, this isn't the first time you disgraced his honor, but Jesus Christ, Dan. All I can say is this, because there's so many people have talked about Dan Snyder much better than I ever could, and I am right now. Dan Snyder, please fuck off. Please let this Sunday be the last time the Washington football franchise plays a game under U.S. ownership. Just please become a relic of the past and just go away.
I think also to tip the Eisenberg, he was forced to be called into Congress. Has that happened yet, or is he still trying to dodge them like the plague?
We make sure of this, because this is something that needs to be made sure of. Because if he is still dodging them, that is not a surprise to anyone. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, Congress is still investigating him regardless, but yeah.
Because I remember this summer just looking at the whole thing with Congress and how they asked, why isn't Dan Snyder here, when they're trying to get Goodell to cover for them. Like, they were trying, like, it's adorable how all the owners are trying to hide behind Goodell when they need to be held accountable for their wrongdoings. And it is absolutely hilarious that he still hasn't shown up to Congress to testify before them. And to top that, to the icing on the cake is, I doubt he ever will. I hope he enjoys prison, but
probably won't. He probably won't. But it's all, and as you know, it's funny seeing some owners, just getting so scared and being like, you all shouldn't be doing this stuff. Jerry Jones.
So, sorry, you had a little bit of a cough there. You had a little bit of
a cough there. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking about here.
You should really like get some tea or something.
Yeah.
I really should get some tea here.
The Commanders are probably going to show up for L of the Year in 2023. but only because of a certain moment in a press conference I remember, where
Oh!
would get eliminated.
You get eliminated?
We got eliminated. I like Drawplay Dave's comic about the about that. I'm trying to get fired. I'm trying to get fired. So yeah. Gotta say though, you just the culture just still keeps being damn good. Spencer, you have the last one. Your last nomina.
All right, for number one, I also went for an NFL owner, who owns a pretty shitty franchise.
Shitty would be an understatement.
You might have heard of it. If you don't know what organization I'm talking about, let me clue you in. They got an elf as their mascot, and they're known for going 0-16. I'm of course talking about the owner of the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam. Now you might be saying, Spencer, why is Jimmy Haslam your ML of the year? Well, allow me to tell you a little story about their quarterback situation going into this year. So, for those who don't know, Baker Mayfield got injured on the field and really wanted to play despite his injury. Stefanski didn't say no, so he kept playing, but he didn't look good during his time. So what do? They kick Baker Mayfield to the curb. You know, they're like, we don't want him anymore. What's he ever done for us? And you're saying, sure, accidents happen. Why is that L of the year? Well, allow me to introduce you guys to the person they replaced him with. A man by the name of Deshaun Watson. A man named Deshaun Watson who has gotten accused for 26 counts of sexual assault against masseuses. That's not even including the ones that were dismissed at the civil level before a grand jury. For people wondering, and can you believe this? Jimmy Haslam liked that repugnant piece of shit so much, he gave him a $230 million contract over the next 5 years that's fully guaranteed. What a gentleman and a scholar. Just rewarding nothing but the worst fucking rapist I've ever seen in the league. Just only an 11-game suspension, bro, and have him come back against one of the worst teams in the league. Just absolute worst, and not to mention his former home, and just an absolute shit show where he was set up to win and look good against his former team, brushing his sexual assaults under the rug. And Jimmy Haslam and Kevin Stefanski have gone on record by saying, and tripling down even on their hiring of Deshaun Watson by saying, oh, we passed it by our daughters and wives and they said it was okay. Fucking really? That's what you're saying? Do you not have the foresight to realize how bad that sounds? Like, oh my god. Why? Why did you give Deshaun Watson money? Why did you give him a fully guaranteed contract? Why does nobody believe women? Why did women get the raw end of the stick in 2022? What the fuck? You deserve L of the year, and you deserve, like, a land of pitchforks and everybody hating you.
Deshaun Watson, I hope when you go the next time you go to Santa Clara to Levi Stadium, I hope you throw a bunch of interceptions. I don't wish injury, but I hope you play like shit when you go to SF. Because you know what?
Agreed.
The entire NFL hates you. When you go to
Deshaun,
SF, to Chicago, to Seattle, to Minnesota, I want you to play as badly as you can. Because F you.
The
screw
real, the
you, Deshaun
real,
Cosby.
the real damning thing about it is how the NFL could have handled it better. Because Trevor Bauer, he got 2 years for allegations. For allegations, and those seem to be in his favor for Trevor. It appears because he got dismissed from his suspension early. He got dismissed. And the NFL should have suspended him for the full year. He should have been put on the commissioner's exempt list when this all broke out. The NFL did this wrong. They did.
You know what's funny?
They did women wrong. They gave women the raw end of the stick here.
It's so funny. It's so funny because they literally suspended him. It became so obvious why he got the number of games he did, because the first game that he would be coming back against was against none other than the Texans, and it's like, the NFL, you wonder why people say your product is rigged. When you do stuff like that, of course people will start speculating.
Not just that. That's not the only reason it was exactly 11 games. It was also to make sure that poor Deshaun Watson would get his full $1 million this year instead of having to wait a whole year. Fuck you, Roger.
What a fucking joke.
You make me sick.
Goodell does make me. I'm disgusted by what Goodell has done. It is disgusting. It is a disgrace to the NFL. It is a disgrace to women. A particular group of people that you try to want. There's more of. There's a lot of women who want to be football fans because more football fans, the better. My mom, she's the one that got me into football. It's a huge disgrace. It's a huge disgrace to everywhere. I'm astonished that that they didn't think of anything better. Just they did the whole situation. They played wrong, and they're gonna do as many PR stunts for Deshaun Watson as much as possible. He used to be the most loved quarterback playing on a horrible organization. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen.
My mom also got me into football, and a sick part of me was thinking, maybe if the Lions get into the playoffs, we should have her as a guest.
They make it past, if they end the divisional round, I'm not against it.
I just think it's just so ridiculous to me how the NFL has learned absolutely nothing. Situations like Greg Hardy, Ray Rice, they've learned absolutely nothing from those situations. Not even on the same topic, but including stuff like Michael Vick. They've learned nothing from those situations. And
Michael Vick has learned more than the NFL.
No, he has, and that's why I said. But I'm talking about, going just looking at these past shit shows that the NFL has had that could have been avoided if they had realized, yeah, we should probably handle this with much more care than we currently are doing. But it's literally it's freaking Goodell's league. It's honestly it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Goodell should be thankful for one thing: Rob Manfred. Rob Manfred is the only commissioner worse than Goodell, and I honestly think Goodell's starting to be worse. Goodell is like miles behind Batman, and he's a million miles behind Silver when it comes to being commissioner.
Yeah, because at least Manfred made the right call with Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even I'm 50-50 on it. Because I'm hearing stuff that the allegations are leaning towards not being true. That's just me, though. they're still investigating it. There's never been a conclusion from it. So it could change. I could be wrong. But those are I'm glad they're taking it seriously. But if they end up being wrong, oh boy. Just be careful. You don't want to be wrong about these things. Because especially those who do have genuine credibility towards it, they're going to end up losing money and especially credibility for other women who have suffered because of horrible men or partners in their life. So just be careful out there, folks.
Oh, and Deshaun Watson, if I see you on the street, good things will not happen to you. I'm not going to be like a Cleveland Browns fan who's going to give you free popcorn if you catch
or a
my
happy
drift.
ending.
Capiche?
Capiche.
Deshaun, if I ever go to a Niners game and see your face in a Browns jersey, you're going to know what my middle finger looks like. And you're going to know how many F-bombs I can spout in one football game.
I'm disappointed that I didn't hear more fans chanting at him, "You sick fuck." I thought that because the only time we actually heard that through the audio of Jacksonville's game.
That's because Jacksonville is an awesome organization.
So,
Well, yeah, and the Florida men in Jacksonville are built different.
Yeah, they're the most Florida of the Florida men.
True. There's one L that Yosko mentioned. The Tennessee Titans collapsed just like my self-esteem from 2010 to mid-2022. Feeling a lot better away from that nightmare.
There was another L I saw there. There was another L that we could have mentioned. Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter's already an L. Let's be real.
And
like I bigger L.
And like I previously mentioned, the Burger King commercials are our unofficial number 0 spot.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of us call number 0.
Agreed.
Have it your way.
BK! Whopper, Gene.
Want me to leave this? Want me to leave like that one time I left after you guys started singing it?
Oh yeah, that is something else. But yeah, those are the L's of the year. There's still I don't know, like literally like 358 days left of the year. Many more L's will be had.
But of course, we've had some good L's already, including the Ron Rivera not knowing you could get eliminated.
So I can always say, in terms of L's, 2023 is already off to a really good start.
I can't wait to see how Antonio Brown does Antonio Brown things this year.
I mean, at this point, I'm just going to choose to ignore it because,
He doesn't need any more attention.
He's done. I'm done with him. He's done with himself. So I'm kind of done. I'm done with AB.
I can't wait for him to go bankrupt at this rate.
He's gonna go bankrupt. And no one's gonna feel sorry for him.
I still can't believe that shirt incident happened this year.
I know.
Yeah,
that's
it did.
That's the absolutely insane part. I totally forgot that. I completely forgot that was a thing.
Antonio Brown will literally be like Squidward, literally asking for spare change in the box, except there will not be a SpongeBob to save him.
And no one's gonna feel bad. No one will feel bad whatsoever.
He's pissed off so many people at this point.
Yeah. Are you trying to do like a Chills voice, dude? Like that number 15, Burger King
foot, that is. The last thing you want to see. But last thing we got to do today is our pick'ems for week 18. So, gentlemen, your mandatory games are as follows. You have your choice between Bills and Patriots. and the Packers and the Lions. Remember, you get one upset and one wild card. Now choose. I'll start first. Bills, Patriots. It's the Bills. Unity will be everything in this game. Will mean everything in this game to them. They know they have important reasons to why they're doing who they're doing this for, and they're gonna make sure they do him right. So best of luck to the Bills team. Best of luck to the Buffalo Bills. I hope you beat the Patriots. I think 31. Even the Patriots are gonna be cheering for you to beat them. Even the Patriots are gonna cheer for you to beat them. So that is my pick that's one of my pick'ems.
I'll go next. I'll get mine out of the way with that. Bills. I mean, you already said why, but like, it's just for me. It would feel wrong if the Bills don't win this game. I want them to win this game, and it would only feel right if they do win this game.
Okay, my head and my heart say Bills. My heart, for obvious reasons, do it for Damar. Win it for Damar. Win it, Bills. The Patriots are gonna allow you to win this once. And from my head, let's be honest, the Bills are a machine compared to the Patriots. The Patriots are not the Patriots of old, where they could, BS their way to some wins. They've been sloppy as of late. And you know what? Bills, buoyed by both their love for their teammate and their superior high-end talent, they're gonna win.
Nice.
I'm also gonna say the Bills for all those reasons. I'm sorry if we did a Sunday Night Football on NBC thing, but
We'll take full responsibility if the Bills lose.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's the Sickos Committee's fault. But yeah, the Bills beat the Patriots. Obviously, what happened with Damar Hamlin, very sad. Even though what happened afterward, very, very, very cool. What happened since, and for those who do not know, a lot of people have donated to his charity. And as of filming this podcast, it is currently at almost $8.35 million donated, which is pretty cool. And I really think, do it for Damar. Bills win.
Well spoken, well said, well said, well said. Next we have the somehow wasn't the game that today, because that should have been today's game. Kind of stunned, but Packers and Lions. This one it's tough. I gotta go with the Packers. They're playing better football right now. They're undefeated in late season games. Especially, I gotta go with the coach that's been undefeated in the late regular season window. I gotta go with the Packers.
Well, I really hope I'm wrong here. I really hope I am not correct with this, but I just feel Green Bay, even they have more momentum going into this, and I just think the Packers are just going to be too much for the Lions. I hope Dan Plan proves me wrong with this. But yeah, I know Green Bay will get their asses kicked in the playoffs, but like I don't want to even have to talk about them being in the playoffs.
Go away.
Nobody was expecting you to be here. Just go away. Nobody asked for you to do this. Yeah, I got
Fuck you.
Aaron Rodgers is back. No, I'm done with him. I'm so done with Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback.
All right.
Ron.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say the Packers win, and they're gonna have to make me delay my drawing for a longer period of time. But you know what? The Packers, to you Packers fans, I'm sorry, but this is a kiss of death. Because you know who you're likely gonna face in the first round of the playoffs? The Niners, who's owned your asses four times the past 10 years. The Niners, who can't you beat? Who can't Rodgers beat? The Niners. So you know what? Packers, go ahead, get your win versus the Lions. Make the entire NFL hate you because you know what? When playoff time comes, we're coming after you. Dun dun dun.
You know what? You know what? I believe in them. I believe in them. God damn it! I'm going for the Lions. You know, they're my home team technically, and they're my mom's team, and you know, God damn it, I just love them so much. They're like they're like a fucking cute little dog. I can't hate them, and I gotta believe in them. Dan Campbell's gonna take Aaron Rodgers' kneecaps on the field, and fuck, they're gonna make it all the way to the playoffs, the damn things. Which, yeah,
Everyone
like
wants
I said,
the Lions to win.
like I said, if that happens, I'm gonna talk to my mom, see if she wants to be a guest on here.
I'm not against it. All right, upset. My first upset is I'm gonna go with the LA Rams over the Seahawks, especially if this is Sean McVay's last game. They're gonna do him right. They're gonna do him right. If this is his last win, they're gonna do everything in their power to win this game for their old coach that won in the Super Bowl. If this isn't his last game, I don't know. We'll see. The Rams, Pete Carroll can't beat McVay. He can't. He struggled to beat McVay his whole entire coaching career when he's
And
been
Jeff
the coach of the
Fisher,
Rams.
too.
It's week 17. They've struggled against the Rams. They've looked very bad. And this has happened ever since Pete Carroll's taken over the team. Whenever they're in St. Louis or LA, the Rams have been a very tough out at week 18. I'm going with the LA Rams as my upset.
Game in 2014. Ooh.
All right, so I'm gonna for my upset, I'm gonna go for something a bit off the wall.
Oh.
You want me to say it? Broncos
Say
country, let's ride.
No!
So I'm gonna say Broncos over the.
I want the third overall pick. No!
I'm sorry.
Wait. Broncos.
I'm very sorry, but you know what?
Broncos are
As much as I love
Broncos are favored by 3.
If the Broncos are favored by 3, you know what? Broncos country, let's die. Chargers get upset.
Yeah. Sorry, but wait, Broncos are fucking favored this week? What the hell? They're favored this week? I'm reading Fox Sports. Broncos are favored to win by more than 3 points. Otherwise,
on
Chargers.
ESPN too. They're favored. They are actually favored.
No. How are they
for 2023?
How are they
you know what,
favored?
I take it back. Broncos country, let's die. Chargers upset you guys because the bettors, because the sports books apparently screwed up.
Yeah.
And we get to laugh at Russell Wilson again.
Wait.
A guy who got roasted by Patrick freaking Starr.
That's not what he wanted to cook.
I'm sorry, Russ. I know you've owned the Niners for God knows how long, but you know what? I feel sorry for you just because you got roasted by a fucking cartoon character.
Patrick Starr. That's not what he wanted to cook.
Okay, now I'm tempted to have other broadcasts aside from Nickelodeon. Like, imagine Beavis and Butthead commenting on Russell Wilson. Anyways, let's move on.
Let's move on, indeed. All right. Well, we got wild cards. Wait. Sorry,
I haven't
Spencer.
said my
Spencer didn't go. Spencer didn't go.
Oh, did Nick say his upset yet?
Or Nick. Oh God, I'm horrible.
Okay, I got this. Oh, I see they are underdogs, and I want to say right now that I'm not just picking them because I want it to happen, but because I feel it's going to happen. Texans are upsetting the Colts. We're getting the #1 pick. I can fucking guarantee that. Chicago Bears are getting the #1 pick because Lovie Smith does one last favor for us.
And all right. And I'm picking the Rams to upset. Also picking the Rams to upset the Seahawks, but unlike Luke here, who says it's because the Seahawks have struggled historically against the Rams, my personal reason is because with a Seahawks loss, that will keep the Detroit Lions alive for the playoffs on Sunday night.
I think the scriptwriters are gonna rig it so that way Sunday night actually fucking matters. They're gonna tell TCL, sorry, you guys have to lose.
I love the Lions so much, man.
Even though I
And plan
fucking
supremacy.
hate them. Alright. Wild cards. Ooh, wild cards. There's so many games that just don't matter that I don't even want to touch. Like, here's an example. The Niners are 14.5 favorites over Arizona. That's a funny one. Eagles are 16-point favorites over the Giants. That's funny too. I'm going to pick the Chicago Bear. No, Chicago's starting. They're starting Fields.
Nathan Peterman. We're starting Nathan Peterman. Why would you pick us?
The memes! Nick, because of the memes. Chicago beating the Minnesota Vikings.
Aww.
Sorry. I'm sorry. After the week that you guys had, you really, if there's any team to absolutely murder, it's the Bears. You're not gonna beat the Bears. I'm sorry.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Sorry. That's
All right.
I'll go.
All right. I'm gonna go for a homer pick for my first wild card. Niners stopped the Cardinals, but not just that. The Niners just played the starters for one quarter, and they play, I don't know, Josh Johnson, and just screw around, and they still beat the Cardinals because the Cardinals, they're dead. Let's be honest. Kyle Shanahan could play quarterback for the Niners, and they'd still win over the Cardinals. Because you know what?
Me thinks they're gonna just keep playing Brock Purdy, because the first round bye is at stake here, and the Niners do everything in their power to get the first round bye. So it's the same scenario for Kansas City. They kept their starters in the whole time because the first round bye is at stake, and the starters will play the whole time.
That's actually a good idea.
It probably is going to be like 30. If it's like 30-0 start of the fourth, then they're going to rest their starters. But for the most part, their starters are going to probably be paying for the most of the game.
Well, either way, we win. Cardinals are the irrelevant franchise again. The butt of the NFC West.
As it should be.
Regarding the #1 seed, I'm just going to say it. Because it seems more than likely the Giants will probably be resting their starters. Eagles are going to win. I don't know by how much, given I think Hurts will be playing, I believe. I think Jalen Hurts should be playing.
I feel the Giants are going to be resting most of their starters for this game. I think the Giants are probably treating this game as a first round bye.
I thought I'd just go Eagles.
Yeah.
All right. So, speaking of New York teams, this might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I have the Jets beating the Dolphins because guess who the Miami Dolphins are having to start at quarterback?
State legend Skylar Thompson.
Baby.
Nope, not even that.
Hey,
Mike
for real?
Glennon.
Mike Glennon! Oh, God, it's not the giraffe, man.
Wait, Mike Glennon started?
Yes.
Oh, God, not the giraffe, man.
They just signed him to the practice squad! squad!
Jesus Christ, Bears legend. Not even Bears legend right there.
Oh
Good
my
God.
god, they're putting their season's faith on Mike fucking Glennon instead of Skylar Thompson.
Did they not see how bad he was with the Giants last year?
Oh
Good God.
no. They just
There's
signed
only
him.
one.
They
There's
just
only one
signed
explanation
him
for
to
this.
the practice squad.
Oh!
And he got elevated 9 hours ago.
I know he got elevated, but they're confirming he's starting?
Hang on, let me check that Adam Schefter's tweet again.
No. I heard he was elevated. I heard he was elevated from the practice squad.
I never heard anything about him starting.
Never mind. He's not starting.
No, he's.
But,
I
oh my god.
I heard he was elevated, but not.
I'm
starting.
sorry. I thought Mike Glennon was start. I read that wrong, and I thought Mike Glennon was starting.
Kansas State legend is still starting, but yeah,
My
I
name
can see
is
that.
Skylar Thompson, yo. I still have the Jets.
I am surprised, but I would have been like, dude, what the fuck? Because there's no way in hell with your season.
On the line.
The potential. Your job as head coach at stake here. You're Mike Glennon, you just signed him to the practice squad.
Literally, hold on. I need to make sure this isn't a fake account. No, it isn't, dude. Oh my God! Literally, the reason Mike McDaniel and why the Dolphins signed Mike Glennon, his first name. The only reason they signed him is because his name is Mike.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! They're a dumpster fire!
Oh my. Well, thank God that yeah. All right, my last wild card pick. I'm going with Dallas Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys.
All right, now. All right, so now for my final wild card. This is partially because of the memes and partially because F the opponent, but Steelers beat the Browns because Steelers gotta win the game against
Got a Super Bowl.
Steelers got a Super Bowl, and they're gonna beat the crap out of.
Wipe the terrible towels.
They're gonna beat the Browns because the Browns are starting the NFL version of Mineta from My Hero Academia.
Stars getting to Super Bowl because we bullshitted our way to the playoffs yet again. We refuse to give up. Mike Tomlin refuses to give up on this team because Stars getting to Super Bowl.
And Mike Tomlin never gonna get losing record because the Steelers got a Super Bowl.
Stars going to Super Bowl.
This is why Filipinos who live in California cannot be Yinzers. We cannot do action
I am
for
not a
shit.
Yinzer.
I just end up sounding like Gilbert Gottfried.
That's why I'm not a Yinzer, people.
I sound like Patrick Mahomes after smoking cigarettes.
I mean,
After his bath bombs.
I'm the closest guy to Pittsburgh, and I just sound like a fucking annoying guy on the coast, Where's my fucking Perennies? I asked for that shit like an hour ago. What kind of a fucking John you running here?
I feel like Mark, hey yo, buddy, what kind of fucking joint you running around here? There's boots of people around you, eh? Is it you ain't treating people right, eh? What the fuck you fucking doing there, eh?
Yo,
My
dude,
sandwich
what do people
did
say?
not
Everyone
come
in
with
California
fries,
say like,
and I'm pissed off.
See, no, sounds like Irish. I get that you're bloody pissed off, because this establishment be treating you like shit, but you know what? Can't do nothing about it. Okay, so everyone had their wild card picks yet?
Oh wait, I haven't had my second.
All right.
My second is I'm just you know what?
Yes.
I'm gonna say it. It's probably the most obvious game I could come up with, but the Buccaneers beat the Falcons because Tom Brady's starting for reasons. You know.
All right, I'll do the last one. Mine is Bengals over the Ravens because Greg Roman is a hack.
Oh, should have said that. Fuck.
All right.
As someone who said Greg Roman as an OC, fuck Greg Roman.
Oh, there we go. I just changed my answer.
All right. Lastly, could the Houston Texans please come to the principal's office? The Houston Texans, thank you. The elimination room. Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. All right, we have the Houston Texans here in the NFL's elimination room. The first team. First team eliminated this year.
All right.
First team this year. Let us get into let's get into your why you are here. Why are you here? Why am I seeing you guys again in front of my face?
Howdy, my name's the Houston Texans, and we didn't do good this year because we're starting Davis Mills at quarterback, and besides that, we ain't got much talent, I tell you what. Yeah, it's just been another year, like always, for the Houston Texans, and boy, that Derek Stingley boy, he ain't looking good with all them injuries.
Well, I mean, the only bright side that I will say, John Menchie the third looks decent. Damon Pierce and Jalen Pater.
Good.
They've gotten some guys that have been productive from this class. They have been fairly good. They've been probably the best players on this team have been this draft class, and that's probably the only thing that you're hoping for is good. I hope you enjoy Josh McCown as your head coach next year because, of course, it's going to be Josh McCown as your head coach. As, you know, disappointingly, again, you have to have because of the, what rule was it? The Art Marone rule, or was it the Rooney rule?
I think Rooney rule.
The Rooney rule, as in you must have a person of a different ethnicity in your staff. That proves to be that this rule is a horrible, terrible rule in the NFL because you're not giving these individuals an actual chance to be important members of the organization. I believe in Lovie Smith. I've always loved Lovie Smith as the head coach, especially when I was an early Seahawks fan. Some of those games versus the Bears were quite memorable. He led of all quarterbacks. He's led them to Super Bowls. He's led them to conference championships. He's led them on deep playoff runs. I think he's a damn good coach, and I really hope he gives, you know, the Texans keep him around, or the announcement's going to be right away on Monday, or we're going to get here at Sunday morning that they're going to move on from head coach Lovie Smith. And again, the Rooney rule, not looking so good for the Houston Texans. Really isn't, especially when they're going to, again, it feels like some Jeff Saturday-esque tier of Josh McCown. That's who the Texans want as their head coach. It's what I've been saying about the Houston Texans all year long. I've had them at 32 in my power rankings. They will still be at 32 in the power rankings because, let's be real, it doesn't matter what this team does. Josh McCown's your head coach next season. But hey, you know what? At least you'll get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
I think, honestly, in terms of breaking down the Texans, it's like, coming into the season, I don't think anyone really expected them to really do anything special, and they really lived up to that expectation because, like, I mean, Davis Mills, we all knew he was just going to be a placement holder, which, for placement holders, hasn't done too bad of a job. I mean, he could be better, of course, but there's been worse. But I will say this about the Texans defense. Their secondary has shown promise. I will say that. It's shown promise. They've been getting better in terms of stopping the passing attack, even, like, not just with shitty teams, but against pretty good teams. They've been doing better in terms of stopping the passing attack. But good God, please get a run defense. Like, if you do want to improve and actually not be a tank contender next season, please just get a run defense, because you are literally the only reason why the Bears do not have the worst run defense in football.
I will credit the Texans for one thing. Jack Easterby is gone. Thank goodness.
Yes, that's an easy win for the Texans.
Yeah, that's their Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, it is.
I think the bright side is, if anything, if you are Davis Mills, if he's been smart with people he's been connecting with, if he knows lots of people, he might be able to play himself into a journeyman quarterback, into the tiers of one Josh McCown or
Gardner Minshew,
or Brian Fitzpatrick. I think he's probably been able to play himself into that journeyman quarterback role as a ceiling. Probably best he could have hoped for. It's the probably best thing you can hope for if you're a third round quarterback. He has had a lot of playing time. Honestly, it's hard to do something when you don't have a team around you. And all they have is Brandon Cooks. This is a team that last year's draft, do you know what their biggest need was? Everything!
Yeah, everything.
Everything was their biggest need. I think right now they're like how people were describing the Seattle Kraken. Except, the Houston Texans don't have the benefit of the expansion draft. The Texans are right now building a team right now. They're building a team from scratch. We'll see how well it continues. They do have an early first round from Cleveland this year that hopefully they can make use of. What's their current picks this year?
Well, right now, of course, they have the first.
They got the first overall right now. They have 11 picks in this draft.
Watch out, Davis Mills goes to Indianapolis.
As of right now, the Texans have 2 firsts, a second, 2 thirds, a fourth, a fifth, and 4 sixth rounds. So I think this team's gonna be pretty busy in the trade drafts. Fortunately, they won't be getting any compensatory picks whatsoever. But for Houston, let's look at
let's take a look at their cap space for next year, huh?
Well, let's look at the top prospects of the 2023 NFL draft. Let's look at the top 150 because it's key that I think it's critically important that there's a lot of really good players. I think especially CJ Stroud, you have Bryce Young as quarterback options. They have running backs. I think they look at some defensive line. There's defensive lines with their second round pick. I would like 2 picks in the second round if they can, But given where Cleveland's finishing, they can get an edge rusher. They can get a wide receiver in the top 10. Something that can get this offense going and scoring for how bad the AFC is. It's gonna be interesting. You could get. I think what they really need to prioritize is they need to draft a leader on offense and defense. I think that's what they need to prioritize in this year's draft. They need leaders on offense and defense.
And they have $47 million in cap space, and I'm gonna be honest, I think Tunsil's an easy cut.
Leon, I think they're gonna keep Tunsil around because there's no reason not to, other than you're just saving yourself money at this point. Houston is still building. Even that Laramie Tunsil trade, that was just bad. That was just
Bill
bad.
O'Brien was just...
It was bad.
A disaster.
You're still cleaning up the mess.
That Bill O'Brien left.
Yeah, they're still cleaning up the mess. Bill O'Brien left such a huge mess. I do not know if this team is ready to compete next year. They're probably not. I don't think they'll be ready to compete for titles this year or even next year. They are still in the process of building. You're gonna let Bryce Young play out. You're gonna use the picks you got from Cleveland to start building yourself a team. And we'll see what results in your from the picks that you get. This class the draft class so far looks really good. The good news is the more pieces that you have that you're starting to check off is really good. Just, as mentioned before, John Menchie looks like a decent wide receiver. You hope he can continue his development and you get a quarterback that can really unlock that. You have Damon Pierce. That's a huge get, especially in the 4th round. That's a huge pick. They nailed that. Jalen Petrie is number 2 in rookie cornerbacks with interceptions. He is number 2. So there are guys that are able to force turnovers on that side of the ball, and the more people that they're able to draft, I think the better. I think next year they're going to be looking to get big from Devin Singletary Jr. and Keyshawn Green, guys that they picked in the 1st round. They're going to be looking for those guys to step up. Methinks they need to try to attract some defensive backs to help their youngins out. I think getting a good veteran piece in free agency is going to help them a lot. Getting some veterans. They need to start getting some veterans in there.
It really helped a lot with the Vikings.
It does. It's going to help a lot. They got a lot of young players on that. A lot of young, talented guys on that roster. And I think you need to, reload your secondary. Because if you got a good secondary, your quarterback's in that division. You got Trevor Lawrence, who's been super efficient this year. You have, Ryan Tannehill. At his ceiling, he can be a very efficient Lamar Jackson. That's the easy comparison. He's a safe and he's efficient with the football. And then you have the Colts, who are going to be completely in a full, hopefully, tear down and rebuild mode. So they will be able to take strides. I think they should at least be able to double their win total for next year, but we got to see what they're going to do this offseason. They need to get guys, maybe trying trading down in the 1st round to get an extra 2nd round pick would not be a bad idea, because I think they're a team that needs a lot of draft capital, and they do have a lot of draft capital, but they need to get more of it because they need guys, and they're about 10 to 15 guys away from actually being a really competitive football team. Who knows what they're gonna be a very intriguing team in the offseason. They offloaded themselves a huge cancer in Deshaun Watson, which, they dusted themselves off of that, which is something that I'm surprised about. What this team does, the AFC is a big brawl fight. They're still in the tanking tier unless they prove to me otherwise. But we'll see what the Texans do this year. We knew this year was a wash, and we'll see what happens.
So are we doing this elimination room like different team every week?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So next week is going to be the Chicago Bears.
All right.
Wait for that one.
So we're going to do the Chicago Bears, and then if the Denver Broncos end up giving Seattle third overall pick, it'll be the Broncos. So
Okay.
let's
ride.
One step at a time. If there's any updates in the elimination room, we will certainly give them. But we'll see. We'll have to see what their ceiling looks like. We'll have to see what this draft class looks like. We'll have to see what they do in the offseason. I wish the Houston Texans good luck, because I'm not gonna forgive what you guys did to try and for Deshaun Watson. You guys
Hopefully we have
enabled
time
the
to,
Predator, so yeah.
Hopefully we have time to talk about everyone.
I think we have enough time to talk about the NFL draft. I believe it's 18 weeks away. I could be wrong, but if we're like behind, we'll just do 2 teams for a week.
Yeah, we could just do like a team where we just do a bunch of team.
Yeah, we could probably do 1 or 2 teams for a week. So it's
yeah, like one of the off-season weeks.
Yeah.
That way, we don't have to. We don't have to spend.
We're
the
doing
off-season.
all teams that did not make. So it's 18 teams. We're not doing.
Okay.
We're not doing.
Good.
We're not doing 32.
Okay.
We're not doing 32. It's only 18.
Good to
Alright,
clarify
cool.
that.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. It's only 18. It's only the 18 teams that did not make the playoffs. That's why it's called the elimination room.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought it would include teams that got eliminated in the playoffs and then
The
eventually.
elimination room is teams that got eliminated in the regular season.
By the way, I really like that intro that you did.
Thank you.
That was.
I try to keep it beautiful.
That was fantastic.
I should have wrote something down. I should have written it down because it sounded better in my head.
Forget scripts, okay? Forget scripts. This is what people are hearing is the raw emotion, the unfiltered thoughts of us, and that's why it sounds so messed. That's why it sounds so messed up.
It sounds like this person has how to tell someone has ADD. Good Lord, the whole entire speech is completely disconnected and made no sense. They jumped from point A to point C, back to point D, but then you got to go to point A, but then I got to explain point D a bit better by showing what about point C.
It's like I'm looking in a mirror.
You're looking at someone.
Definitely keep that Mr. Blank to the principal's office, please, Mr.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna keep that because this is the principal's office. They did a big onion.
I can't believe they shit in the hallway.
I can't believe it. It's like I expected nothing of you, and you know what? You're still here, and I fully expect you to see you next year. Now go fuck off.
They pulled the fire alarm down. How could they?
Yeah, how could they pull the fire alarm? Like, I knew they were gonna pull down the fire alarm, but they still did it.
Oh my god.
Like, what the hell? Alright, anyways, thank you guys for watching this week's episode of the Sickos Cast. If you want to make sure, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And, yeah, hopefully next year's cast won't be as long, because we managed to do 2.5 hours of this.
Oh my goodness.
It's 2 hours, 45 minutes. But thank you for sticking with us. We'll be back next week to do more Sickos, Untitled Sickos Project. I'm your host, the Mastora. We're gonna definitely be doing more stuff. We might be doing live watch-alongs of some XFL, USFL, and CFL games. We'll see how we're gonna organize that because
It's called improvement, folks.
yeah,
Things will get better here.
Because
It's called trying.
Yeah.
It's called trying to be good.
Yeah, we're gonna try to be good. We're gonna try to be diversify ourselves, and then we'll talk USFL, XFL, not the CFL, because who gives a shit about the CFL?
Hey, you Bombers for life.
Great, because you're from that region that actually gives two shits about the CFL. You're from that region that gives two shits.
Somehow, Michigan does not have a CFL team. Why?
They've tried having teams in the CFL, but they've all flamed out.
Sickos Project. Let's ride.
Yep. Anyways, see you guys next week. Somehow the Sacramento Bulls have lost 5 in a row. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, every L was caught on stream until I had to step in and say, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. We lost the hockey game. Anyways, see you guys next week. Bye.